that straight on hi-fi beat. Give me paper, pen, and one mic to make this man complete. I'm always stay sucker free. So haters hop off my dick till the day I die. Focus till my mission complete. Never stops, that victory from the jaws of defeat. Focused on create heat. Missile shot, wore down enemies we must defeat. This MC is so unique. Rocking heads, stop them dead, then bring them back to their feet. You better watch what you speak. Just popping off at the mouth, I leave your body feel weak. Switch your face and grit your teeth. Cause anything else will have your outlook look bleak. Death is the time for sleep. Never slow down, never stop, I'm always on my grind. In any mountain I will climb. Reach my physical prime and I ascend to the peak. Introducing Omar, the Professor Fonseca, and the Professor Semanalmente. Yo, 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 what up, what up, what up, friends? Yes, indeed, you know who it is. The Professor back at it again, trying to figure out why my picture is looking like this when I just went yesterday and it was fine. Not sure why. Let's see what's happening here. Anyways, welcome to Professor Semanalmente while I get this figured out. One moment. But yes, thank you for tuning in on a special Friday edition. Not too often that the professor comes in on a Friday, but hey, okay, you know what? I really have no clue why this is doing this, or am I just seeing that? It might just be my actual. Hold on, so. There we go. Much better. Much better. Yes, shout out. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure y'all subscribe at Ballin' Buds, BALLANDBUDS on YouTube. Handy QR code up there at the top will take you to our link tree. You can subscribe to all our social media and as well hit that like button, whether or not watching now or on the replay. It is free to you, but invaluable to us. Helps us out in the algorithm, get out to more new people that do not know about Ballin' Buds. And you know, if you love the content, why wouldn't you want others to love the content? And again, I welcome you into the Professor's Semanalmente. I am your host, Omar, the Professor, today sports professor, Fonseca. And yes, I will be joined by one, possibly two very special guests on today's episode, but I'm gonna start off a little early and kick it off with a little intro I got, because I got some things to get off my chest that I only want to kind of attribute to myself. But again, shout out to everybody tuning in. We really appreciate it. Happy Veterans Day, first of all. Nothing controversial there. Just a real happy Veterans Day to all my veterans, my veteran brethren out there. We might actually have one joining us this evening. But anyways, I am a proud Air Force veteran. Loved my time in and met a lot of good friends that I'm still friends with to this day. So shout out, salute to all my veteran brethren out there. Happy Veterans Day. Honor to all those who serve, especially those who gave the ultimate sacrifice for our country. We thank you with our deepest gratitude for your service. And I was honored to serve my country. Would do it all over again in a heartbeat. So again, just a shout out to everybody there. Thank you for your service, and I hope you enjoyed a wonderful Veterans Day. I usually love my Veterans Day. If you've been watching Ballin' Buds for the few years, or if now that I've been doing this podcast and then we started doing the YouTube channel, because before I was doing the audio version, you will know I like to go out and partake in the veterans meals. I ended up going out and partaking in a meal that I partook a little too late in the day, and it was a little too sweet. Had involved cinnamon rolls, as you know, a fat boy essential over here. I had to have some cinnamon roll pancakes. I don't even eat pancakes, but I had never ate at the place, and I was like, all right, well, let me try it out. It was very amazingly good, but very, very sweet, and it made me sick. So I ended up going home and not doing anything the rest of the day, but that's neither here nor there. Happy Veterans Day again to all those who have served. We love you and we salute you. Shout out also, we did our stream yesterday for UFC 322 and Boxing Clubber D, the Combat G's Combat Sports Special yesterday. Check that out on Ball and Buds as well. You can subscribe to Clubber D's YouTube at Clubber D. It's up there in that link tree. But also, we are going to be streaming live tomorrow night for UFC 322 on millions.co. Yes, they asked you boys to come on and do a little live reaction. So if you're wanting to hear, your favorite combat sports duo do a live reaction for UFC 322 tomorrow night, 10 p.m. Eastern, check out millions.co/ball and buds. And yours truly, a sports professor, will be joined by Clubber D, the Combat G, to give our live reactions to UFC 322. So shout out to millions.co, the platform where you as a content creator can create content, can do interviews. If you're an athlete, you get interviews, and as well, they will create merch for you. You get free content out of it. It is a win-win situation. So while they are promoting us to do this show, we are getting to do the show on the Millions platform. So again, win-win situation. Happy to be partnering with them on this. So again, tomorrow night, 10 p.m. Eastern, check us out at millions.co/ball and buds for our live UFC 322 reaction. All right, awesome. Look, y'all, the MLB awards came out, and there have been, well, most of them. I didn't even make up, I was watching the Audible podcast a couple minutes ago. Shout out to my brothers, Bobby G and Walt Carmara. Bobby G made a nice chart, as he is wont to do with his slides on his show. Just a wonderful job making sure that he's getting his point across in a nice slide fashion. But anyways, I wasn't going to make it because I already had this picture made, first of all. But also, there was only one race that we really need to talk about. And while shout out and congrats to all the MLB award winners, the Cy Young Award winners, Paul Skeens, from the window to the wall, Bobby G. Skeens. I might need to go sit in the hot tub after that one. I might need a cigarette. Anyways. Oh, no, wait a second. I completely forgot. That reminds me, before we get into this, hold on. Before I even get into this, which is fine, I got to rant first. Before we get into this, I have something on my mind that we need to talk about. So during the government shutdown, yeah, I know I haven't been doing news in a while. At one point, I'll get back to it. It's been just overwhelming, the amount of stupidity that happens within our politicians and our politics and our political parties and the news. I had to get away for a little bit. But anyways, one thing that did happen during the government shutdown that you may not have heard of, but that may be important to you, and I mean, it may not be at all, but it is to me. Shout out, by the way, to Busy Bee Honey, the all-natural CBD honey from bees. Well, the bees don't have CBD in you know what I mean. How great would that be if there were CBD bees flying around? I think I had a little bit too much CBD. No. I only use it to sleep because it does make me because I guess it has some melatonin or whatever else. No way, it's all natural. I don't know what it has in it, but it's all natural. It sounds really bad. Anyways, I only use it for sleep, but it helps. During the government shutdown, I took a flight before that. So, Congress passed a bill to recriminalize intoxicating, in air quotes, hemp, to the dismay of, obviously, the $28 billion industry that is hemp. Now, you may be asking, Omar, what is hemp? Hemp is a naturally derived substance from a plant that is used to make a lot of products, is used in supplements, is also used in aforementioned CBD that I take to sleep and that a lot of people use for pain, even though, at this point, not most, I shouldn't say most, a lot of grandmothers and grandfathers are taking CBD at this point. Everybody's popping a gummy that But the point is that it is very, very helpful, especially for veterans who we just talked about that may be in pain and maybe they don't want to smoke marijuana, or maybe they don't want to take prescription medication, because let's be completely honest, I am no fan of the pharmaceutical industry, as I'm sure many of us aren't, but it's not like those things are good for us either. So it's not like if you're taking pills because like even the heartburn medicine that I'm prescribed, right? I saw that there have been links of that it possibly could be linked to cases of cancer. So it's like you can never really trust any of these medicines per se. So when you have things that are natural that actually help, you don't really want to get rid of those sort of things. Now, yes, there are pros and cons to every situation. So what am I talking about? In 2018, there was a farm bill that allowed the sale of products containing less than 0.3% of THC. And you ask, Professor, what is THC? THC is the psychoactive substance that comes from marijuana. So when you smoke marijuana, there are very many different substances within there. And even THC itself comes in many different forms. There's THC-A, there's THC, B, C, there's all types of different THCs. And depending on the THC, you may get those psychoactive reactions, or you may get nothing. So a lot of these products that even your grandpappy and your grandmammy are taking, the CBD, they have hemp in them, but it's not psychoactive. It's not going to get them high. They're not going to start tripping like they took some mushrooms with Cheech and Chong. You know what I mean? That's not what's going to happen. It ain't going to be like Aaron Rodgers on ayahuasca. That's not what it is. When you're taking the CBD, these hemp products, it's usually used for pain. It's usually used to be able to help people with different conditions that they have, so they don't have to take medicine, or that they don't have to avoid everything all together. So these things are even safer than the those prescription medicines you're taking for your heartburn or your whatever, your cholesterol, whatever it may be that you're taking. So anyways, I say all of this. Shout out to Bobby G, the tribal chief of podcasting. Put your ones in the air. Hope to see you shortly, my brother, if you can make it. I just gave away one of the special guests if he can make it. Shout out my brother Snaily, Dale Hood. Holla, I appreciate it, man. Glasses, I love them. Yeah, they're nice. Ball and Buds, specific ones I bought. So anyways, back to this bill. Make sure you all subscribe at Ball and Buds, BALLANDBUDS on YouTube. So this bill now that the conservatives or the Republicans passed through during the shutdown closed the loophole within that farm bill that allowed for those sale of products. Why? They don't want kids to get a hold of these products. Let me give you a good example. I live in Nashville, Tennessee. Tennessee, a conservative red state, does not have marijuana approved for recreational circumstances, only in very extreme medical cases even. It's a very conservative state. Probably not going to happen anytime soon. It's probably going to be a few more years, and eventually the whole United States will legalize marijuana. It's not going to be a thing eventually. The whole United States will be. But you still got to get through all the old people that believe in the bullshit reefer madness and all this, the devil's lettuce and all this other bullshit that people like to put in their heads, because what they wanted to do back in the 20s and 30s was criminalize black and brown people, because black and brown people were the ones that were known to smoke marijuana, or at least, let me put that in air quotes, because there were a lot of damn white people smoking marijuana too, so don't get that twisted. Anyways, I digress. THC, depending on how much is the level now, if you want to talk about the marijuana that is cultivated now, the high volume THC marijuana now, the very high THC is usually around 25 to 30%. So that's your average range for high ranges of THC. You really can't get swag or Reggie, as they used to call it when I was in high school. You really can't get reg too much anymore unless you're like in the sticks you either in the sticks or you're in the inner city, one of the two, right? Now that out there, you may be able to get some of that swag, maybe a little bit of mids, but even that, most of it nowadays is going to be from that middle to high range in THC in terms of the ones that are sold on the street. These other things that are sold within these stores, like again here in Tennessee, you see all these food truck stands around and bike stands, and they're all like announcing that they're selling marijuana and all this stuff, but it's not. All it is very low, less than 0.3% THC products. So will it give you a little buzz? Sure. About the same buzz you would get if you were a 14-year-old smoking a cigarette for the first time. Sure, you might get a little buzz, but it's not going to be anything that you really need to be concerned about, and that would not even necessarily hurt a 14-year-old. I know. That's when I started smoking. Don't smoke, kids. Not a good idea. I wish I would have never done that. So that's a professor's warning to the young kids out there. Do not smoke. It's not good for you. But anyways, that being said, with these low THC, vapes and gummies and so on and so forth, a lot of them have the hemp in them as well, but a lot of these are unregulated. Yes, I get it. They are. So technically, they could be labeled to have a certain amount, and maybe it would be more. But they also have to, they would have to be tested if they got caught. So a lot of them don't necessarily do that. Are there some companies that are bad actors, bad faith actors, and do things like, put more maybe than they're supposed to, and maybe list it as less? Sure. I would definitely believe that some do that. So obviously you want to try to regulate it as you can so it doesn't get out of control. But for the most part, most of those companies, or at least the ones that have any name value, would be worried about losing further privileges of making hemp products, and even when it gets legalized in their state, anything further than that. But when you take these products away, especially in these states like I live in, then you do take away from Mammy and Pappy. You do take away from the veteran that needs it. You do take away from these people that can't get legal medical marijuana and need these other, faker, non-psychoactive, supplements in order to help them. And there should be nothing wrong with that. I agree that kids should not be able to touch it, right? You should have to be at least 18, like you are to smoke. That's a whole nother thing. You go to France or Germany, you can smoke when you're 12 or 14. So, hey, we ain't going to sit here and talk about when you should and should not smoke. I was reading, by the way, Bobby G, check your Facebook. My bad, brother. I sent it to your Facebook because I was sending it to you and Mar at the same time. So I didn't send it on IG. If you can't get it, let me know. I'll send it on IG. Yes, thank you. My producer coming through is used to control seizures as well, right? These CBD hemp products also used to control seizures as well, and many other things. Again, it helps with a lot of things. It's not just a stoner product. Again, a lot of times you're not going to get high like you were if you were smoking the street marijuana. All it is you might get a little tiny buzz that you're not going to be anything that you're really going to do anything more than put you to sleep at the most, which is what it does with the CBD honey that I take. I take it 30 minutes before I go to sleep. It makes me drowsy. It helps me to sleep better at night. But it does have hemp in it, and it does have CBD. And so again, when you're getting rid of these alternatives for people to use, and you're in these conservative states or states where it's not legal to buy marijuana, and you don't have a choice as to what you can get your hands on, or if you can even get it medically through a doctor, well, a lot of people are going to be hurting. And a lot of people are going to, it's not just about getting high like people want to say. It's so stupid. I hate when people say that. Obviously, yes, it can be used for that. And you can, and I'm not going to sit here and tell you what to do when you do it. But what I am going to say is that when you're taking away products that can be helpful and that are not as harmful, when you're looking at the ratio of harm to help, I guess, in terms of you got to think about the kids too. So I do understand. That's more on the seller of the products, though, I think. That should be more on the businesses that you're regulating, because if you're in a food truck downtown, and you're selling those things, you still have to be a regulated business. So you should still have to be checked on for all that stuff, just like a restaurant would when someone comes in. So as long as you're regulated, I see no problem with this. And I think it's hurting more than helping for people that need this kind of help. So anyways, I'm going to get off my soapbox there, because if I say anything else, I may incriminate myself on some things. So we're just gonna keep it moving. Shout out my brother Valentino tuning in on the IG. Happy Veterans Day to you, my Marine, my friend. Went to college together. Yeah, man. I hope you're doing well, brother. I hope to see you soon. But yeah, thank you for tuning in. So yeah, that's my rant on the farm bill loophole being closed and now hemp being taken away. Sorry to all y'all that depended on that for help. You're going to have to make sure you can either get it medically, or you better hope your state regulates it legally. If not, you're going to be in pain. Hope the best for you, because I know I deal with a lot of pain in my knees and my back from previous injuries, and so I know I use it for that as well. So, all right, moving on. Bobby G is about to join us, and that is perfect timing because we're about to get into the sports. Yes, indeed. Announced, rather, thank you for my words, Omar, announced today the MLB Awards. Now, as I was saying, Tina Love tuning in for the first time. Salud, chica. There's one for you. I hope you're doing well, my friend. And I appreciate that. I try to be very empathetic and helping of everyone that I can. So I really appreciate that. All right. The MLB awards were released. And so look, we're about to have a debate on this. As I mentioned, most of them were not close. Shout out Paul Skeens for winning the NL Cy Young Award. Shout out to Tariq Skubal for winning the AL MVP award. Shout out to Shohei Ohtani for winning the NL MVP award. There was no doubt about that. I'm a Mets fan. I love Juan Soto, but he had a slow start to the season. Schwarber, while having 50 bombs, still not as good as Shohei. This was a knockout the park. He won by almost two double. So Shohei, I have no problem with that. He should have won. Let's get to what I have a little bit of a problem with. And I know I'm going to talk about this with Bobby G, and I know I'm going to talk about this. Hopefully our other guests may be able to make it. But Aaron Judge, New York Yankee, he won the award in 2022. He won the award in 2024 last year when he previously hit 63 home runs. Versus Seattle Mariners' Cal Raleigh. Cal Raleigh was the biggest story of the year, and I ain't talking about his Big Dumpa. Yes, I know that's his nickname, the Big Dumpa. I know they say that because he got a big behind. He got a rotund backside, pause if necessary. But that's because he's a catcher. He's a catcher. He's a big dude. But you know what else the catcher is? The most important player on a baseball field, because the catcher is the captain. The catcher is the one that calls the plays, makes sure that all the people are lined up in their correct positioning, make sure that anything that needs to come from the coach is relayed to his pitchers and teammates. Catchers control ball games. So when you have a catcher who hits 60 home runs, which never has been done before, that's pretty amazing, because not only do you have to mentally control all of the defensive and pitching and everything like that, but then also offensively, you're the best player in your team. And that's saying something when you got the great Julio Rodriguez also running on that squad. So, Cal Raleigh, also a switch hitter. You know how hard it is to hit 60 home runs as a switch hitter? It is much harder to hit from both sides of the plate and be ambidextrous, as they say, than it is to hit from one side of the plate. So look, and Valentino, I hope you're watching. Hey, I hope you're watching, Valentino, because you're a Yankee. You're a damn Skankies fan. I hope Jacko is watching too, for all these Skankies out there. I know your brother Aaron Judge had all the counting stats. I get it. Aside from home runs, he had the average. He had the OBP, on base percentage, which is for all the people watching that may not know, on base percentage is the percentage of times per your at bats that you get on base. So that includes a mix of walks, hit by pitches, and hits. And they add that up and then they divide it by at bats, and that gives you your percentage. There's also slugging. Slugging, for the uninitiated, is when you take all of your extra base hits and it's put into the formula, and then you get a percentage based on your slugging capabilities versus your on-base percentage capabilities. Slugging should usually be higher, especially for power hitters. I mean, if you're going to even have them close, which I don't even know if that's even ever been done now that I'm thinking about it logically, because I don't think that would even match logically. But even if it did, you'd have to be like an Ichiro type player where you got a lot of base hits and walks and didn't hit very many home runs and things like that. So anyways, just to help everybody, shout out Bottom Line Sports. Flo tuning in. Salute, sir. Thank you for your service. Happy Veterans Day. I know that you served us proudly overseas, so salute. Prayers to you. Thank you for your service, and I'm glad that you're back safe. Thank you for tuning in as well. Y'all check out the Bottom Line Sports Canteen, our other brother, and Flo there handling the Bottom Line Sports. Yes, that is the same one I used to be on, but they're still running. Go check them out. All right. So anyways, when you're looking at this, y'all, yes, I get it. I get Aaron Judge had the counting stats. I get it. But what is more important? And this is when we're getting to the same conversation, and I want all of you to go watch the short I did the other day with my Sunday Showdown brothers. It was a rant I went on about MVPs and how MVPs should not always be quarterbacks, and that they should be running backs, wide receivers, even defensive players should be considered for this award, for the Heisman too, I believe. I believe that shouldn't just be an all quarterback award, which it's turning into. God forbid what happened to the days of the great legendary Charles Woodson, for God's sakes. But now they're doing it with all these other awards. Like, look, I get it. Aaron Judge is one of the greatest hitters, if not the greatest hitter of the past, 10, 20 years. And he had a great season hitting. But there is so much more when you have to control so much more of the game. There is so much more when you not only have to hit, but you also have to be able to, again, manage the defense, handle the pitching staff, and all of these other things, and do it from both sides of the plate, not just one, and not just stand out there in the outfield like a bump on a fucking log. Okay? Look, I'm not trying to hate on outfielders. I'm not at all. Outfielders, especially the very skilled ones, are awesome. And Aaron Judge is a very skilled outfielder, okay? Not to take anything away from him. But he's not squatting every damn ball, which, by the way, hurts your knees like hell. He ain't squatting. He ain't calling plays. He ain't doing nothing with the pitching staff. The only thing he's doing out there is sitting out in the outfield, picking his ass, and every once in a while, because he plays right field, gets the ball hit to him. Because let's not act like right field ain't where they put the bad fielders. We all know it is. Okay? Jose Canseco was my favorite baseball player of all time. And they sat his ass in right field because he wasn't a good fielder. Okay? I know that. I ain't about to sit here and lie to myself. But anyways, when you're looking at this, I believe that Cal Raleigh is the most valuable player, not only because he handles more of the part of the game, but shout out to AP. from the Let's Talk Sports Network, Alan Perales, he'll tap in with AP. He's been on with us plenty of times this year. He said it. The New York Yankees are in the news all the time. Aaron Judge is always going to be in the news every year because he is one of the greatest hitters of all time. But the Mariners wouldn't even have sniffed the playoffs if it wasn't for the amazing year that Cal Raleigh had. And that deserves an MVP award. And yes, even if you want to go to the fact that Aaron Judge has won it now 3 times in 4 years. Why? Why does he need that? Right? And I know a lot of people don't like that argument. I know some people want to be having the Michael Jordans having 7, 8 MVPs. And while I do agree, Michael Jordan should have had 8, 10, 15 MVPs. I don't agree that it should have happened because of the fact that you just can't go to the same person every time. There is voter fatigue because there should be. We don't want to see the same thing every year. If I go to the Hall of Fame and I was thinking about this earlier in the shower. It's weird. Once you start taking all that CBD, wink, wink. I was thinking about this and I was like, well, if I'm to go to the Baseball Hall of Fame, a shout out in Cooperstown, New York, and I'm to walk through the halls, well, I'm going to see MVP Aaron Judge, MVP Aaron Judge, MVP Aaron Judge. I'm not going to remember who Aaron Judge beat along the way. And I know that because I was reading an article earlier about one of the MVP awards that had been won recently, and they talked about the runner-up, and I was like, I forgot he was even in the MVP race. So you only really remember the winners. And now Cal Raleigh's season, one of the greatest seasons ever, is going to fade more into obscurity in the obscure parts of our memory because of the fact that he didn't win the MVP. So it's not going to be remembered as highly. And that's a shame. That is a true shame to him. So anyways, hopefully we'll see Bobby G in a second. I shot him that link. Get him to come through and give his opinions as well. Also have another brother, hopefully will be joining us soon, that can give his opinions. So we will come back to that if they do come in. But hey, whatever. Look, I am a hater. I am definitely a Skankies hater. I'm a Mets fan, as we know. Shout out to my New York Metropolitans. I hate the New York Yankees. Absolutely despise the New York Yankees with all of my heart. So I don't like Aaron Judge. But that doesn't mean I don't respect Aaron Judge because he is one of the greatest hitters of all time. But when you have a performance like this by a player that is more valuable to his team, because the Yankees could have still made the playoffs. I mean, they weren't as good either this year, but I think they would have still had a better chance without Judge than the Mariners would have had without Raleigh. But anyway, look at that as I speak. Welcoming in from Audible Podcast, Audible Reacts, Audible Sports, Audible, all of that good stuff. The tribal chief of podcasting. Put your ones in the air. Bobby.
What's up, man? Appreciate you for having me.
Hey, I appreciate you tapping in. Is that why you do that? Is that the tribal chief, right?
I stole it from Roman Reigns. I can admit
it. Nothing wrong with that. We got a little Roman action right there. Shout out to the WWE.
Even though of the family, I'm a bigger fan of Fatu than anybody.
Fatu.
That's my guy. That's my guy.
Yeah. All gas, no brakes. Let's go. I love Fatu. That's my dude, yo. Too bad he's going to be out all year. But by the way, I don't want to spread any unfound rumors or conspiracy theories.
Fair.
But I heard, allegedly, that it had to do with a issue that might have had to do with a dental procedure. Do you know anything of this? Have you heard anything about this? That could be a completely falsely made up internet rumor, but
I don't know.
Because they said he's going to be out a while, and I heard it was something to do with dental, and I know he has a grill.
It could be.
And I'm wondering,
a permanent grill. It could be.
Yeah, I've heard horror stories about like the teeth getting bad behind the grills.
Yeah, it's a whole thing. Actually, that's what I did in the military. I actually worked in a dental office. So yeah, it's a whole
Oh
it
shit,
becomes a
nice.
whole thing. Like people nowadays think it's cool getting these veneers and all the like, man. Word to everybody, keep your real teeth as long as you can. That's the best thing. I know it looks cool and looks pretty. Actually, having like all perfectly white teeth looks unnatural. But
I
yeah,
can understand that. Yeah, no, I can understand that. I saw a meme the other day. I don't know what it was, but it was somebody, and they were like, "Why are his teeth bleached? Like he just like have some normal ass teeth." But speaking
yeah.
of, you are a veteran, my friend. So happy Veterans Day to you. I did that a little earlier.
Yeah,
Shout out to you for your
appreciate it.
service. I appreciate it. Would you like to let the people know a little bit about your service, and also let them know where they can find you and tap in with you at?
Oh, for sure. Audible Sports Podcast every Thursday, actually after Thursday night football. We're doing that. Once football season is over, we go into our reaction show, where we react from clips and videos from all over the interwebs, showing the age a little bit. And then, of course, Friday, the original Audible Sports Podcast, where sports meets life and culture. Like I said, I have our episode tonight, and that's every Friday, 7:05 Eastern, 4:05 Pacific, 6:05 Central. And me, Wildcard Mar, from IOW Sports Network. Shout out to my bro in arms, Mar. Yeah, man, we converse. We try and keep it fresh. Like I said, we try to not do the regular sports podcast where everybody can just statue, and like we just try and have real conversation. We try when it's applicable to relate sports to real life as much as possible. Like try to
Yes,
just
sir, we
go
do.
a little bit deeper and start genuine conversations, and of course have a little bit of fun because at the end of the day we are entertaining, right? We trying to entertain. You want to
Mhm.
keep people's attention. But about me, like I said, yeah, born and raised Cleveland, Ohio. Currently reside in Las Vegas, Nevada. 8-year Air Force veteran. Yeah, so that's it.
Team high, baby. Salute. Yes,
Yeah,
sir. Bobby G and I are Air Force brethren. So
yeah,
we
we were
had a good
smart.
long talk about that.
Yeah,
We
you
were the
gotta be
smart ones.
smart.
That's
You gotta
right.
be smart.
That's
Yeah,
right. Yeah. Yeah.
gotta get good on that ass fab, baby. You gotta get more than 3 points.
Sorry for you if you're not. But my shout out my dad and my grandfather who were both Army. I decided that was not the route for you, boy. So forget all that bullshit. But yeah, y'all make sure you tap in with Bobby G for real. Audible, they're awesome, especially their every show is great. Thursday night with Jets Girl or Just Girl, April and Wildcard
Yeah,
Mark.
she's disowning the Jets right now.
She's funny. She be cracking me up, yeah. And then also their Friday show, really great show. They just went on right before I came on. So Audible podcast, go check it out. They do a nice segment as well on mental health, but they touched on everything we're going to touch on today, including all the sports. They also touched on the AI thing that I'm going to talk about here in a
Whoa,
little bit as
pause.
well. Yeah, pause. So let's kick this bad boy off. I was talking about baseball. So you're in here now. What are your thoughts on this Aaron Judge, Kyle Raleigh debate?
For me, I it's like you could go with either guy. Like at the end of the day, is it really a bad like if it's not to me, if it's not clear and obvious, then there's no mistake made. Cal Riley had a great season. Like I said, 60 bangers, and of course, his responsibilities at catcher are unmatched. But like Aaron Judge, he is the Yankees. Like you said, he is the Yankees. And the one thing I say, I noticed the hesitation in your voice when you the Yankees would have I don't know. And that's why he won MVP. Right there. That hesitant because you have no clue where the Yankees would really be if he were not on that roster.
I was going to say it, and then I remember when he got hurt for like 2 weeks, they were only like 500. So I was like, okay, they
Yeah.
might sneak into the playoffs.
Yeah.
But the Mariners would have been a lot worse
Would
in
they
my
have
eyes.
though? Do we
I
really
mean, I
I mean
don't think they would have got to the playoffs at all. I think the Yankees would have at least sniffed the wild card, possibly.
I don't know. I
I mean,
mean,
it's debatable. I don't know. I could be wrong.
does
I could be wrong.
Julio step up? Does he
Right.
start earning
You're
that?
right. Yeah.
Because he still got some bonuses he can get to elevate that contract. Hey, smart job out of Seattle for signing him to that contract when they did, because they kind of got him for the cheap for what he's capable of.
Yeah, no, definitely got him on the sheet. And shout out to Flo. Historically, since 1931, only 9% of MVPs have been catchers. Thank you for that pro fact. I did not know that, but that even is more of a reason that Cal Raleigh should have been giving it to it. And look, I'm not just saying that because I am a digital marketing professor, a professor of storylines. I teach storylines and how to create compelling story techniques. So I am all about creating a good narrative.
Okay, here will be my question to you then. Okay, because and you said, like I said, we talked about it on Audible. So, and because of that, my question, because of the vote breakdown. So, what did the voters in his area see that the voters in other areas did not? That they did not support him?
Right, that's a good question. Yeah, no, I heard on your podcast how you were saying it was what 7-3.
Yeah, they split
Raleigh and the AL West voters.
Yep, split in the East, split in the Central, and 7-3 Judge in the West.
See, but that makes no sense to me. So now that I didn't know the other ones were split.
Yeah.
Now that you're telling me the others are split, you know what that says to me? A conspiracy. All the AL West voters voting against Raleigh because he's their rival and voting for Aaron Judge. That's exactly what happened. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. That's such a good theory. But for real, like, don't you believe that? Like, if you walk into the Hall of Fame, you're going to go down the wall. You're going to see Aaron Judge MVP, Aaron Judge MVP, Aaron Judge MVP, and you never remember who came in second. We are going to lose this amazing season to the obscure memories. There may be a little like cubby hole in the Hall of Fame somewhere with like a catcher's mitt that says Cal Raleigh, greatest catcher season of all time, but yet he wasn't an MVP. Like, I mean, come on now. Did Judge really needed a third year in 4?
I'll put it to you like this way. If you don't remember him, he didn't get robbed.
I mean,
we remember people who got robbed. Like,
I guess we'll see if I remember this thing because he definitely got robbed.
Like, yeah, Mark McGwire won the home run race, but Sammy Sosa took the MVP. Why?
Because he was more valuable.
And nobody says McGwire got robbed, right? But we remember him because of the season he had.
St. Louis fans do.
So it's kind of that same scenario. Like, Judge, we'll remember Raleigh for the great season he had, but the sentence will never be, but he got robbed of MVP. So he'll still be remembered for the season he had, but it just wasn't his turn for that, that hardware.
Well, if the sports professor is talking about it, it will be robbed in my eyes, always and forever. Now, what say you to my opinion about the MVP race now? And when you're looking at that kind of selecting Judge 3 times over 4 years, counting stats versus impact, because again, I do still believe that the catcher being the captain of the team, having to manage the ball game, all these other things, still puts a lot more importance on them. So that needs to be factored in as well. But that's not the question here. The question to you is, we talk about the NFL. I did my rant on YouTube the other day on Sunday Showdown with my brothers. Check that out at 7:15 after the day games, before the night games. And I went off on a rant that, it shouldn't be running or just quarterbacks, should be running backs, receivers, even defensive players, just like the Heisman, just like this kind of where it's like, okay, Aaron Judge had the counting stats. He had the better average. He had the better OBP. He had the better slugging. He had more steals. He had more hits. Got it. He pretty much everything except home runs, right? He had more in. But Cal Raleigh had so much more impact on the Mariners game, being that he actually had to control the pitching staff, control the defense, and hit from both sides of the plate.
I agree. And that's always going to be a great debate.
Because the QBs are a counting stat. They have the ball in their hands all the time. So that inherently is going to make them more valuable. But then you've got to take that away from them because you got to factor in the fact that the running backs and the wide receivers don't get the ball in their hands as much.
Yeah, but they are counting stats. They are counting stats. And take Matthew Stafford. 21-2 is hard to combat. That's tough. 21 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. That rate
got that? Yeah. No, you're right. That's amazing.
3K passing yards already. So they're counting stat, but it's just they're compiling numbers at a rate and I'll say this for football. Right now, to me, the game is at a perfect state for the era.
Okay.
Like with all the rule changes and the adjustments that the defense has made to the rules, like we went through the era where I could go to the NFL and throw for 5,000 yards, right? We went through that era. Now it's at an era where, bro, if you throw for 275, that is a great game, right? 300 yards has now become a standard, like an achievement again.
Right.
So for the season that a Stafford is having, for the season that Drake May is having, the season, well, Josh Allen was having, it's an accomplishment again. So yeah, they are stat count, but Jonathan Taylor is too. It just doesn't look as impressive because it's ugly, and people don't like ugly. Everybody wants to win pretty. And
But
same
that's the thing. Okay, so let's give it to the quarterback all the time because they're the ones with their face in the news.
Yeah.
And Tom Brady got to be the prettiest guy on earth, even though I think he's ugly. Well, anyways, my bad.
Cal Raleigh is not as a human being. Cal, don't take this personally. Cal Raleigh is ugly. His job is ugly. His knees.
Right.
He has a mask. He might as well be a football player because he's wearing a mask the entire game.
You don't see him. Right.
We only notice him when he's at bat. Oh, Cal's up to bat and he's on this hitting streak. But so then he's just like Aaron Judge. And when you see him next to Aaron Judge, there's that. When he goes back into the dugout and puts that gear on, now we forget who he is. So,
yeah. Okay, cool. Well, great debate on that. We've got another MLB story, a crucial one, and this is going to lead us into some more of my mixed bag news bits later. Actually, you know what? I might as well give those now while I'm doing it. But in MLB, we're coming to you. You're our inside source on this, Mr. Emmanuel Clase and Luis Ortiz, team lover. Mr. Cleveland himself, more Cleveland known than the Miz. Look, brother, your boys were caught. Yeah. I read the charges and what they found out about this, and I'm not going to bring up all of it now because I'm trying to keep this to an hour and a half, but there's a bunch of documents y'all need to go read on this. It's pretty solid charges that the feds have on this, where they have not only meetings between Clase and these bettors, they have text messages, they have phone calls during games before I'm about to go pitch. They have the exact things they're saying, how the money is going to be wired, what to say the money's for, buying horses back in, I forget, Dominican Republic. So all of these things going into it, which just, I mean, I'm always one person, especially in the United States, you are innocent until you are proven guilty. But dog, this looks pretty guilty. And so Emmanuel Clase, all-star closer, which is going to bring me to another question, inducts his friend, for lack of a better word, Luis Ortiz, into this. He gets involved. What do you know about this huge story? How do you feel about this? Because my secondary question after this was going to be, do you really think this affects baseball? Because Clase was still one of the best, if not the best reliever in the league during this time as well. So all of that to you, Mr. Cleveland.
I don't think it affects baseball because nothing it won't affect the integrity of the game. Like, has the Astros scandal affected the integrity of the game? And that's pretty recent.
For a while.
It affected the Astros. Like, did you ever think the Yankees were cheating? Did you ever think the Cubs were cheating? Did you ever think the Orioles were cheating?
There were a couple times we thought there were other teams, but I got you. Like, it wasn't widespread. Right.
Yeah. Like the Black Sox today, there's been multiple things that have happened throughout the history of baseball, and they haven't affected. So, no, grand scheme of things, this won't affect baseball. But I think it will. It's just going to put a bigger microscope on things. I think it also will make it easier for. It'll make it easier for all the new technological things that they want to implement in baseball to get by. So, because now that you can't cheat these things, it's going to put a scope on everything you do. You thought you were already under a microscope scrutiny now? Yeah, wait, wait till next or with the next potential season. I know they got labor stuff going on, but wait till the next time the season starts. And unfortunately, it's gonna begin in Cleveland, just because of what it is. And even though we just went on this great run and came from 15 back and did all these great things, when the next season starts. And I hate Tanner Bybee. And Tanner Bybee takes the mound on opening day, and he throws one over the head of the catcher. Did he do that on purpose? Like, so they'll be with us, I believe, but widespread, I don't. It would take a little bit more. So, but it's definitely like
now. I do want to just to ask you this then. Because, and yes, I agree overall, it probably wouldn't affect the integrity of the game. Now, did it affect a couple of those actual games? Yeah, like Ortiz, in a couple of those games where he came in and threw a ball right away, he ended up blowing 2 saves. So they lost 2 games. And I don't know what year that was in. I'm actually interested. I'm probably going to go look this up to see when that was.
What that would have been.
Was that last year?
Yeah, because we just picked him up this season.
It would have been this year then. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, okay. Yeah, y'all did trade from him from Seattle. Wow. So so it didn't affect you, but what if Cleveland would have not passed Tigers to get into the playoffs, and then this all comes out? And what if it happened by 1 game? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Well, and what about the bigger implications? Because we just saw, I talked about this a few weeks ago on this here show, Chauncey Billups, Damon Jones, Terry Rozier, all getting arrested and charged in the NBA gambling scandal as well. Same kind of thing in MLB. It was for player props on pitches. Here in the NBA, on player props for points scored, minutes played, things like that. How do you feel about the larger role of gambling in sports? And I would like to add to that there were 2 stories that came out this year that I want to mention. Up in New Jersey, 14 people were charged in an alleged organized crime sports betting ring. And that was involved with the Lucchese crime family.
Right.
So the mafia is involved there in New Jersey. And in a larger global state of affairs, in Turkish football, there were 1,024 people in the league brought in to and charged for gambling and all. It's gotten so bad, dude. Yeah. What are we seeing going forward in sports?
I don't know, but I think in American sports, one thing you will have to see the disassociation of leagues from the gambling sites. Like, I know they love the money, and I know they like making the side hustle, but you can't have the leagues associated with the gambling. I mean, look what's going on with ESPN. Like, that's all I can say. Look what's going on over there. So you can't have if you players mixed up in this, you can't have. I mean, like, and me and Omar talked about this a few months ago. Like, literally when the first thing that happens is, and I know it was the video's fake, but everybody saw the video. It was user made with Buddy Hield on the bench, and the guy like, "Hey, Buddy, I need a 3," and he looks over and he's like, "I got you," and he goes on the court and hits a 3. Like, no, that's real, and we've seen fan videos. You can go to YouTube. There are fan videos of the bigwigs sitting courtside. Hey, Joel, you're messing up my parlay, man. You got to get more rebounds. They're like talking back and forth with these players. Like, you can't now. If you want to talk about something that's messing with the integrity of the game, and we want to believe that it's having no effect on these players. They're just jawing back and forth with the fan. But as we can see with Jonte Porter, with Terry Rose, like you never know what a guy's going through and what he's willing to do to get out of a situation. Or you never know what an affiliate of someone is going through. Don't forget, most, and I'm not going to put this in just on athletes, most celebrities are loyal to their people to a fault.
Yep. Very true.
And if their best friend down from day one is in a jam, you don't know what that person may be willing to do to get their best friend out of a situation. So, yeah.
And on top of that, like you mentioned, if there are people involved, like there are in Jersey, like I just mentioned, with the mafia ties,
and you don't
now you're really talking about life or death, right? Now you're really talking life or death. Like, yeah, I'm gonna break your finger, then I'm gonna break your kneecap, and if you fuck around enough, I'm gonna take your life. Sucker, you gonna end up what they used to say, end up in the bottom of the river with the fishes. End up in you're gonna end up in the bottom of the river with the fishes. Yeah, you see my shoes on. Yeah, wise guy.
It's like I'm an avid, I'm a semi-pro poker player. So it's like big part of the reason why I live in Vegas. And I literally have 2 rules.
I didn't know that. That's cool.
1, I don't play above my means. That's how I stay. That's it. The second,
very good rule, children.
I don't play house games.
Oh, because they're being rigged.
I don't care. I don't care if my brother is doing the game. I will come watch. I will come have drinks. I will come for the festivities. I am not sitting at your table. If we are not in a casino where I have cameras all around,
casino,
and yes, I'm not playing. So,
and how crazy was that? They had like X-ray glasses. They had cameras underneath the chip containers. They had machines that could card count themselves. Like the machines would count the cards themselves and tell them exactly what every player. I'm like, that's wild. That's some Ocean's 11 type shit right there.
Stuff is real, very real. I've seen some of those things like up close and personal. It's real. It's tough enough to win just being good.
Right. That's what I'm saying. What the fuck? Every time I go to a casino, I'm walking out with none of the money that I brought in. So definitely not playing above my means. That being said, y'all make sure you tap in with Audible Podcast as well as Ball and Bloods as we keep it moving here. To talk about something you just mentioned, YouTube TV and Disney just reached a deal earlier today. Shout out to AP for breaking that on your show. So they have a deal now that will restore ESPN, ABC, and other channels to the platform's 10 million subscribers after 2 weeks off. The deal will give, and this is going to be awesome for what Clubber D was talking about on our show yesterday. Go check that on UFC show we did yesterday. But this gives YouTube TV subscribers access to ESPN Unlimited, which is their new service that they're charging $30 a month for at no additional cost. So that is awesome news for those people like Clubber D who has that YouTube TV. I don't have it, but other people do. Because now you get ESPN Unlimited, which is a $30 service by itself, because I had the Disney Hulu ESPN Plus package, and they were going to raise that to $25. Well, no, it's not. The Plus doesn't have everything Unlimited does. I thought so too, but Plus doesn't get the regular ESPN channels like ESPN News, and ESPN2. But then I was able to add NFL Plus on top. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. YouTube TV subscribers will access this again for free, which is awesome. They'll get all the unlimited stuff, and they'll pay whatever it is now that they pay. I don't know I forgot what he said he paid, because right now it's saying that they pay a little bit more than $80 per month. But I thought he said he only paid like $30 a month, so I'm not sure about that. But anyways, what do you think about this? Do you have YouTube TV? Did this affect you?
It does not affect me. I got the Disney
that's right
bundle. But I also use it. I subscribe to an Amazon Fire Stick, which the Fire Stick itself can come with much. It's I think it's like $50 initially. And then after that, there's an app on there that I pay $15 a month for. Okay,
so you do subscribe.
It's just a different app. So
we weren't sure about the legalities of this.
No, that's please look at my comment. It said I pay $15 a month. The app is legal, and
That's great.
it actually allows me to watch local TV networks from all over the country. So
Okay.
a good use for that. Prime example, I live on the West Coast. So say
Mm-hmm.
the wife wants to go to dinner. We make reservations at 8:00, right? Law and Order comes
Mm-hmm.
on at 8:00. Well,
Big balls.
for us, we can watch New York channel at 5:00 our time, which is 8:00 East Coast time.
Got it.
Watch
Yeah,
Law
not
and
have to
Order,
miss your show.
right,
Right.
and then go to dinner after. So, and
That's cool. I
then
get you.
yeah,
Okay.
it also I get all NBA channels, all NFL games.
Nice.
So yeah, all that.
Okay.
But
Wait,
yeah, it's
like the
great.
NBA package, like the whole package?
Yeah, I can watch every game,
Oh shit! You know
every
what?
team.
What
Yeah,
is this? Does this work with asking for a friend? Does this work with the someone for someone who has a current Fire Stick? Like I have an old Fire Stick from back in the day. Can I still use that?
I would assume you could just search in the apps. It's called IPTV.
Oh,
So
shit. You
search
know
the
what? I
apps,
gotta
see
dig
if
that
it's
thing up
there.
because I ain't used that thing in forever.
What's
Because
the
I got a
worst that can
Roku,
happen?
so I just use my Roku. You know what I mean?
That I'm not sure of. So I mean, again,
Oh, but I
search it.
have
What's
an
the worst?
Amazon TV thing.
What's the worst that can
What
happen?
is it
Just
called?
search it up.
IPTV.
IPTV. Yep.
All right, y'all. You heard that. And if the feds come arresting us, don't
Oh, it
let me
came
over
for me. I've been
barbecue.
using it for 5 years. I've been using it for 5 years. It ain't came yet. So but no, it's
That's
just
good.
great for this Disney. Hey, South Park said it 30 years ago. This mouse is taking over the world and is buying up everything. It's buying up the NBA. It's buying Hulu. Now it's buying YouTube. So hey, watch out for the mouse.
I mean, yeah, there's no doubt about it. Walt Disney knew what he was doing, and he started a monopoly way a long time ago, and they have just been acquiring everything. But I do want to speak to the fragmentation of viewing because we did talk about this a little bit last night as well.
Mm-hmm.
NBC Universal is launching a cable sports channel next week that will include live NBA, WNBA, MLB, Premier League, and college football as well. Xfinity just released their own sports package. So how do you feel about the fragmentation of viewing within our streaming era?
It's just the other brands trying to compete. I mean, and I got no issue with competition within. That's what this country's built on, right? However, yeah. However, at the end of the day, somebody's gonna run out of money, and one day, all these things will be under one of three umbrellas, like everything is the three major corporations, and we know who they are.
Right.
So it will go the way of college football.
Okay. Yep. No, I am following you. Yeah. I'm not mentioning those names because again, I don't need no one running up on me in the street.
It'll
for
go
no
unknown
reasons. But hey, we're good. All right, cool. Thank you for that. Well, moving into college football then, because I was going to do you know what? Let me just do them real quick. I was going to do my NFL football rankings. You did yours yesterday. You know what? I'll take your critique. Let's look at this real quick. Now, I do want you to remember this does not include last night's game. Okay. So do not look at this as the Patriots. This was before last night. So that's why they're at 6.
That's fair.
Philadelphia Eagles still at 1. I had the Colts at number 1 a couple weeks ago. But the Eagles have beat every team below them here, including the Rams and the Buccaneers. They are the defending champions. I know they've been having a lot of flack lately, especially with the A.J. Brown-Hurts combination. But we heard this last year with the Hurts and Sirianni combo, and they still went on to win the championship. So I got them there. Indianapolis Colts there at 2. They had that loss against the Steelers, but that's not a bad loss. It's the Steelers, so I kept them there at 2. Commanders, same thing. Tough loss at the Vikings. Came back to beat the Commanders. Moved them up to 3. Rams in Seattle, pretty much identical here. The Seattle has the better point differential, but I personally don't trust them more than I trust the Rams and Matthew Stafford. Very much more experienced and a better player than Sam Darnold in my eyes. You can always see Sam Darnold turn back into pumpkin mode like he did with the Vikings in the playoffs last year. So always be looking forward to that. It's a big game this weekend between the two of them. This could flip positions, but I think this is good for them there. Again, Patriots before the win last night. I know they got the 7 games in a row, so they're at 9-2. I am one of the biggest haters of the New England cheating scams, but I will put them there as much as it hurts me. Buccaneers, I had dropped them from 1 down. Now, I think I dropped them a little too much, but they did lose to all the teams they played above them. So they lost to the Patriots, they lost to the Eagles, and they lost to one of the other teams. So I put them at 7. The Bills, as you mentioned, digressed a little bit the past couple games, especially that bad loss 30-13 to the Dolphins. So I moved them down a little bit. The Chargers, staying steady, but I'm not as convinced about them yet. I do think that they're still going to possibly win the AFC West, because that's what I predicted at the beginning of the season. But obviously, you've got those Denver Broncos at the bottom of the list, and I feel so sick putting them in there. But all the teams right there were kind of iffy. The Packers and Steelers and other teams, just like, I didn't really want to put anybody at 10. So I had to, against better judgment, pick the sorry-ass Broncos. How do you feel about my power rankings?
You only made one mistake. And I'm
Okay.
not order-wise, just in your in your reasoning. In your reasoning,
Okay.
You made one mistake. Tampa Bay beat Seattle.
Oh shit! Did I get that backwards? Okay.
Yeah, Tampa Bay did beat Seattle. That was in your reasoning. That's the only thing you got wrong. This season is like really tough. Like when you have literally almost 10 teams in contention for the number 1 seed in their respective league this late into the season, it's crazy. Literally 1 through, you can make a case 1 through 7. Any of those teams could be number 1. Right.
Yep.
Like you said, the critical game this weekend is probably LA Seattle. Literally, the winner of that game could be number 1. Like the team that loses that game could literally, you could lose that game. You could say they're the second best team in the conference.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. So, they're really up there.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, that's as good of a list as any. It's really just a matter of just who you favor over the other team. Like for me, I had the Colts still at number 1. Just because, like, to me, both sides of the ball, they're just playing the most consistent. Like, and your argument for the Eagles, hey, to beat the man, you got to beat the man. And until they lose in the playoffs, really, with their record, that's a great argument for them being on top. Can't say different. Yeah, they beat the Rams. So there's really no reason you could put the Rams above them. But sure, you could say, oh, that's that. Like, you could literally make a case for all those teams. The only thing I would switch was maybe Buffalo. Buffalo just playing too inconsistent lately. Lately, this seems like something's going on up here with the Bills. And until they figure that out, I can't trust them. Like even this weekend, I got them losing to Tampa at home this weekend. And they got to figure it out.
Ooh, okay. Big loss to Tampa.
Yeah, this is loss. To me, this is a must-win game for Buffalo. If they lose this game, they're at risk of really not making the playoffs. They're definitely not going to win the division. They don't win this game. They have no shot at winning because the Patriots remaining schedule is too soft. So they're not going to.
Yeah, they got a soft ass schedule. I was hearing it on. They were talking about it on Pat McAfee earlier today.
Yeah,
I was like, damn, that's a soft ass schedule.
Yeah, this is a must win if you want any chance of potentially winning your division, but let alone just staying alive for a wild card spot.
Right.
You know, so yeah, that's the only change I would make. Probably put Buffalo at 10.
And let's look at the schedule this weekend. So we do have just one we had yesterday, Jets and Patriots. Don't care about that early game, although I do want to mention I did have a whole segment on this, but I'm just going to mention it really quickly. This is a record 7th game internationally that will conclude in Madrid, Spain on Saturday morning between the Commanders and Dolphins at Santiago Bernabeu Stadium in Madrid, which has a capacity of more than 83,000 after recently completing a $1.5 billion renovation. Miami is going to be the home team, but more important here is that one of 3 NFL franchises, they are the Dolphins, with activation rights in Spain for the global markets program. Now, you may be asking, sports professor, what is the global markets program? This is something the NFL instituted a few years ago where they assigned different global markets to different teams based off of who they thought should be assigned to each region. Like Barcelona is the Chargers, for instance. I don't know that to be true, but you get what I'm saying. So it was a little bit maligned because some places had teams that they already thought they were there, but either way, it doesn't matter. The NFL is getting more international. That's what really matters here. This is not going to stop here. This is only the start. Previously, they only had 5 games as a high in a season. So they have said that eventually they want to get 2 franchises outside of the United States. Mexico is obviously probably going to be one of the first to be chosen, maybe even Canada, because they got the CFL, so I don't think they would. But you could possibly. But Europe, Germany, all these other places, internationally, how do you feel about these international games and the NFL's focus, which is similar to the NBA, on these international games?
I hate it.
Oh, okay.
I absolutely hate it.
I didn't think you were going to say that. Okay. I thought you were going to go the other way.
What's the end goal? Are we trying to put a team overseas? Because if we're not, as a fan.
Well, I think it's to grow globally, right? Just to get more fans around the globe.
But for what end? Because as a fan of football, you're taking away from me. Remember, each one of these games is costing the home team a home game.
That's very true.
You're raising prices every year. And now you're taking a game away, which is going to do what? Increase the price on the remaining games because you now have to make up for missing that 1 week of revenue.
Yeah.
Like, so no, give me my home game back. As a fan, let your international audience buy your NFL packages on YouTube and let me take my kid to the game and enjoy the NFL experience.
Okay, so you would be then opposed, would you? Well, actually, I guess I should ask because it's not the same thing. Would you be opposed to there being a team in London, a permanent team like Jacksonville, moving to London permanently?
If it's a means to an end, I get it. But if there's no means, like what I'm just like don't waste my time.
Got it. Yeah.
Like, yeah. Don't waste my and especially with the difference between the NBA and the NFL is the percentage of European athletes. Like, I get it for the NBA, and look at your top players: Luka Doncic, Victor Wembanyama, Nikola Jokic. Like the percentage of the top players in the NBA and the European effect, and the effect that American basketball has had on European, players, much different. How about we spend that time that we're doing? How about we spend that in Canada? At least Canada has their own pro league. They've shown interest.
Right. No, you're right. You're completely right.
You literally could have promoted a CFL team to the NFL, and but we're going way over here to country, or you want my support? Hey, build a football stadium on a military base and do it for the troops. I can get behind that.
I like that.
You want to sell me on something, sell me on that. But just doing it just cause don't waste my time. Miss me, man.
No, I love that idea. I love the military base idea. Maybe like a San Antonio or something down there where you got a lot of troops or something like that. Or
I mean, you got
Hawaii where you've got all 4 services.
Yeah,
you can have you can still have the global feel because people have to travel to get to Hawaii in order to go see the game. There you go.
Absolutely,
look at that. Look at that.
Next year when Veterans Day falls on Thursday and it's Thursday night football, they're going to show you all these images of these troops over, and hey, I'm a Vikings fan and I'm over. Yeah, but then we're going to freaking play a game and Tottenham Spurs. No.
Not the Tottenham.
And like I said, I was stationed in Germany for 4 years. It was 4 years I had to go without going to football games. It's like I'm speaking from experience, and like staying up until 4 a.m. to watch the Browns play, and being exhausted at work the next day. So yeah, man.
I love that I just typed in Tootingham into the search because I wanted to see if someone had ever made a meme that had like a piece of ham farting, and I was going to show it on screen. They do not, but actually the soccer team did pop up for most of the the Tottenham Hotspur is what it is. Tottenham Ham Hotspur, not Tooting Ham, but that's hilarious. And there are very delicious pictures of ham. And I know y'all were just talking about ham on your Audible podcast, favorite Thanksgiving foods. And so now I'm very hungry for ham, is all I have to say about that now. Moving on, let's move it into the college football. Oh, no, wait. That's right. One more thing we had to do on NFL. My bad. Want to look at these games. Whoopsie daisy. Here we go. Look at these other games. Are there any other games you had any thoughts on here in this packed schedule this weekend?
Nah, this week's pretty straightforward. There are two games of concern. This of real concern, and that's the Seahawks and Rams and Philly and the Lions. That should be interesting.
Oh, I like that.
And actually, I'll make that three. Kansas City and Denver. Again, Kansas City must-win situation for Kansas City.
Have to. How crazy is that?
Yeah,
Mars, Kansas City is must win. What are they? They're 5-5 now? Is that what they are?
No, I think they're 5-4. They're
5-4.
Yeah. Again, this is why Patrick Mahomes was Patrick Mahomes, and so these are the games we like to see him in. So
there you go. All right, let's move it into college football. This is our schedule this weekend. All the most important games, at least. So there you go. We got a little Notre Dame Pitt action. That's your game day game of the week. ESPN Game Day will be there. Shout out the Game Day crew. My brother Pat McAfee, salute. We got to get together and smoke a soon. Anyways, 18 Michigan, South Florida, Cincinnati there in the early Saturday window. Bama OU sneaking back into the playoff race after that crucial loss to Texas a couple weeks ago. Bama still flying high. Ty Simpson in the Heisman Trophy running race. Then you got Iowa USC, the only Big Ten game being shown on the Big Ten Network. That is because they have a rule where each Big Ten team has to play twice per season on the Big Ten Network, and one of those games has to be against a ranked team. So that's why this is on Big Ten Network and not on the main stations. I just read that.
They also got Peacock too. So
sure, yep, you're right. And then Texas, Georgia. Texas is back in it again, just like OU. Everybody's shitting on Arch Manning and my pick to win it all, Texas. But they're back, baby. And if they can win this game, wowzers, that would be huge. And actually, funny enough, I think they don't have a bad chance here. I think that Georgia. I don't know. What do you think? Let's see what you think. Let's see what you got this.
It's gonna be tough. If it was in Texas, I'd give them a better chance. I don't like them going in on the road. I'll take the Dogs.
Okay. All right. Any other games you want to predict there?
No, college. I'm more looking at the player. I'm a Hurricane fan, so our best days are behind us. What
a crucial loss.
Till we get a real quarterback. But I will be watching the Bama OU game, more so because I like Ty Simpson. I think he's the best. I think he's the most NFL ready QB. Put it like that.
Okay. I mean, I do agree. I think he is. Him and Mendoza are probably the two NFL ready ones. I do like Mendoza. I really do for some reason. Got a lot of moxie. This is our updated CFB bracket projection before going into the weekend. So this is what the playoffs would look like if it started now. So again, pretty straightforward from what we just talked about. They still got Miami in there though. So do you think y'all can sneak back in? Now this is just a projection again. This may not happen, obviously.
No, Carson Beck is going to throw us out of the playoffs.
Okay. All right. Well, there you go. What a downfall for him. Jeez Louise. Okay. Projections not correct as per Bobby G. That's what I like to see. All right, cool. Well, let's get rid of that and let's move it into a couple other subjects here. We do have to talk a little bit of NBA. So we did talk about the gambling aspects earlier of the sport and what's been happening. There we go. But power rankings for the week, the Oklahoma City Thunder, bro, 12-1. What? Off to a crazy start. So get this. I got a whole bunch of stats on this earlier. So here are your pro facts. After last year's winning 68 games and setting NBA records for the margin of victory, 12.57 points per game, which means that was their average winning margin of victory. Not that wasn't for you, that's for the other fans.
Yeah.
I wasn't trying to, I don't want to make you think I was saying that to you. And most double-digit wins in a season, 55. Before going into the championship, they are 12-1, but their next 4 games include Charlotte, New Orleans, Sacramento, and Utah. Win, 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 win. So unless something really bad happens, they're going to go to 16-1, which will put them on a ridiculous 77 win pace. I asked this to Warren Shaw of the Baseline NBA podcast. Shout out to those brothers there. But I asked him, did he think before the season that the Thunder could win or break the record, the Warriors record? We also talked about this with you on our NBA season review a few months ago about the Thunder. Could they break this record of the Warriors, the 73 wins? Well, how they're looking now, they have 8 double-digit victories in their 12 wins, and their margin of victory now, when it was 12.5 before, is 15.5 now. They're winning by 3 more points per game, and this is all, by the way, with a better defensive rating at 106.6 per 100 possessions. Not to mention, Williams is Jalen Williams is all defensive selection. Lou Dort has missed 6 games. Alex Caruso and Chet Holmgren have missed 4. They can only get better as they get healthier. What are your thoughts on this amazing run so far?
I mean, they're the best team in the league, like just hands down. They're going to challenge the run that they go, and obviously they have to win, but I believe they'll challenge the Warriors' run as best run,
yes.
and they could potentially challenge the Warriors' claim as best team. I mean, I know a lot of people consider that 17 Warriors team one of the top 3 teams of all time. Did Kevin Durant's first year?
Okay.
I think
one of the top 3. I would not have said number 1 ever, but yeah, okay.
One of these Thunder years will challenge that. I mean, I was literally like just watching highlights as it came. I was like, last year's Thunder team I might pick them to beat the Bulls.
Wow.
Like when you go position for position, like I don't like they match up more than perfect. Like Ron Harper's doing nothing with HBA. Jordan on Jalen Williams. I'm like Lou Dort on Pippen, Chet Holmgren on Rodman or Horace Grant.
A good matchup. That's a good
Bulls
dream matchup.
Like, and the difference is the bench. Their bench is way more active than
the Bulls. Yeah,
any version of the Bulls bench. So it's like And the first thing that somebody would say, the eras. No, they play old school basketball. They're not up here jacking threes. They play they shoot mid ranges. They drive to the basket. They play defense. Like, nah, they might blow the Bulls out, bro.
I mean, I don't know.
It sounds like, but really think about it. Like, you got 4 guys who could score 30.
That's true. You're not wrong.
Yeah,
you're not wrong at all. Okay. I just had to get your thoughts on that. We'll see. I do think as well, like you, that they will challenge that record. I do think they are that good. At number 2 in your NBA.com power rankings, the Denver Nuggets. Jokic had an amazing 55 point, 12 rebounds, 6 assists game the other day, in which he completely demolished Valanciunas and Brook Lopez and made them look like little children. How do you feel about Jokic continuing on this amazing streak year after year after year after year?
It's like just not even fun watching him play anymore.
It's crazy, man. That's fucking crazy. Are you kidding me? Dude looks like a fucking like a what was the dude that Humpty Dumpty that fell off the wall out here dropping 55 on these fools' heads?
He's like being in the locker room with the Nuggets must be like loving basketball when she's overseas and she's like getting dressed, and the coach is talking to the team, and then he finishes, and she's like, and it looks over like, what do you say? He said, "Give the ball to you." That's like literally that's the Nuggets' old.
It is. And it's sad because they have Jamal Murray, and really they need Jamal Murray to step up and be more of a good number 2. But it's like, you're right. Just Jokic or nothing at this point. If you look at the plus minus split when Jokic is off the court, I was reading, shout out The Athletic, I was reading the article the other day where they showed the splits of the teams that are most affected when players are off the court. And Jokic by far was the most difference in plus minus when he was on the court versus off the court. So.
Yeah.
At number 3, the Houston Rockets. At number 4, the New York Knicks. And at number 5 in your NBA.com power rankings, your Cleveland Cavaliers, who got Darius Garland back and had a 4-game winning streak last week. How do you feel about your Cleveland Cavaliers?
We are not that. Not right now.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, I don't know if you know. No, this was in before that. But yeah, DG hurt himself again, so he's back out.
Okay, so this was from Tuesday, by the way. These articles.
Yeah, he hurt himself in.
He got hurt again already. Jeez Louise.
Yeah, he got hurt in the game Monday night.
God bless.
Yeah, same toe, so he's out. But yeah, it was looking good when he came back. The ball started moving for whatever reason. When he is not available, the ball sticks. We don't move. There's no ball movement, and we got to get out of that. It's like everybody it's like they're afraid of Donovan Mitchell. Like, he's your teammate. Don't be afraid. And the thing is, he's been open in the media and saying, I want guys to demand the ball. And I want Evan Mobley to demand the ball. Like, dude, ask for the ball, he'll give it to you. In the last 5 minutes of the game, he won't. But for the first 3 quarters, he absolutely will. And that's your time to do whatever you want to do. And that's what we need. So,
don't wait till crunch time. You know who can get the ball.
Exactly. But yeah, we
that's funny.
We need Darius. Right now we're not the 5th best team in the NBA.
Okay. All right. And you got to hit the huge NBA news of the week. And we had talked about this on the season review a few months ago with Mel on Man Down Sports. You all check him out. He had a new episode tonight too. He's killing it there with the Man Down Sports crew. Y'all tap in with them. But we talked about this. The Nico Harrison trade finally came back to get him. And they were like, yo, Patrick Dumont, the governor of the owners, was like, you got to go, buddy. This just ain't working. Anthony Davis hurt again. Kyrie already out for what might be the whole year. Cooper Flagg, the only sensibility of hope left within an organization that traded. I'm glad you're here as a conspiracy guy. I love getting your thoughts on conspiracies. I don't believe it's any longer a conspiracy. I believe now that Nico Harrison was fired, it was proven that this was a backdoor NBA deal between Adam Silver and Nico Harrison to get Luka to LA where they could have a star because LeBron's going to retire and they have to keep the Lakers propped up as one of the best in the league. And that's why they made a backroom deal for them to trade Luka, knowing no one ever in history would do some dumb shit like trade the best player on your franchise at 25 years old, and you're going to come tell me that after he was fired and now all you guys Cooper Flagg and now they're talking about trading AD and Kyrie, and you're going to tell me it wasn't a conspiracy? No, I can't believe that. What say you?
I didn't say it was a conspiracy, but I will say Nico's just a scapegoat.
I'm saying, bro.
Well, what's getting lost in all of this is the moves he made got them to the NBA Finals. Remember that? The moves.
Come on, though. Like, that's
the moves he made a year prior got them to the NBA Finals. Literally.
I get it. I know.
Like, and also, I'll say it like, and I'll repeat. I think it was Charles Barkley inside of it. Nico Harris didn't just trade Luka Doncic. You're not trading your best player. Just, hey, I'm doing this. Like, we saw how that went down with the New Orleans at the time, New Orleans Hornets, right? Hey, we trading Chris Paul. No, you're not.
And what was that? A conspiracy as well to keep the Lakers propped up so he wouldn't go to the Clippers.
Okay, but yeah, so what is the conspiracy to get players to the Lakers or keep it? Like, what are we doing? We gotta make our
money. To keep the Lakers good. Always to keep the Lakers good. Whatever they can to keep them sorry ass fakers good because they know that the Celtics are the better all-time franchise.
Yeah, but no, I mean Nico's just a he's just a fall guy, and I mean we'll see who his replacement is, and we'll see what kind of leeway they have.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I still think it's a conspiracy, so I'm going to go with that. I like that. I don't let the truth get in the way of a good story. I don't know.
Hey, that's fair.
You know what I'm saying? I don't believe that.
That's why it's called content creation, right?
Yeah, I'm saying it right now. I heard from sources allegedly that he did this with Adam Silver, didn't even ask Patrick Dumont, didn't ask Mark Cuban, and just traded him. And fuck them now. The Dallas Mavericks are screwed. And now they have to just build behind Cooper Flag for the foreseeable future. But how well is that going to work if you trade away AD and Kyrie? It's going to make you look real stupid.
It depends on what you get back.
I mean, we'll see if you can get anything back for 2 off-injured, I mean, Kyrie got to be done soon with the ACL, right? He can only have a couple more years in him with his style of play because he's jerky. He makes a lot of moves, makes a lot of spin moves. He's a great player, but if you're going to play like that, you got to have a good ACL. Believe me, I tore my ACL 3 times. I know. Let's move it on to college basketball, men's college basketball, top 25 AP. Houston at number 1, Purdue at number 2. Now, this is AP poll, by the way, because Purdue does technically have more first place votes, but did not get the total amount of votes. Right. Better. UConn at 3, Duke at 4, Arizona at 5. I don't know your college basketball team, and it's still very early in the season, only a week in. But how do you feel about the college basketball season so far?
It is right there. If the banner wasn't there, you'd see it right in my nameplate. That's all you need to know.
Oh, my bad.
BYU is going to the Final Four. Book it.
Okay. Where's BYU at? 7. Ranked 7 in the AP top 25.
Hey, AJ DeBanza is for real.
Wait, what? Why are you a BYU fan?
I'm not a BYU fan. I just follow players in college. Well, in basketball.
And he was one of the top recruits. That must be known.
This kid can play.
He's crazy. Yeah.
And I know that their first couple games were against also rans. But again, there's a certain way you're supposed to look when you play also rans. And he looked every bit of that. The kid is every bit of 6'9". He can handle the ball. He's not selfish, passing the ball. He moves without the ball. Like this kid is going to have a lot of success at the NBA level. I obviously got to see him play more and see his jump shots and how he moves on the defensive end. But what I've seen so far, he shouldn't have an issue leading this team on the college level to a Final Four. If he is what everybody thinks he is. And I think he's that. The kid, Yeah,
I mean, very, like I said, very highly rated recruit coming out of high school. And if you're right, he's proven that he's already a NBA player in a college or a college player in an NBA player body. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, if you can get a team like BYU to go to the March Madness and take them to a championship, that would be amazing.
Not just him either. They spent a couple other guys. The big thing is they gave him $7 million was his NIL. No, they got a couple other transfer guys out of the portal. So it's not just him. They got some players. They got a good team.
There you go. Okay. And shout out to my UCLA Bruins. They're at number 15. They got a really good team themselves. You better watch out for them. Shout out Donovan Dent, number 1 transfer in the country, point guard going there. Now we'll move it on to our NCAA women. UConn, always vaunted UConn. Gino Auriemma has them back at number 1. Dawn Staley has South Carolina at number 2, always there in the conversation. Again, my UCLA Bruins, they're going to win the Lady Bruins this year. I'm telling you, Lauren Betts is the best player on the country, hands down. Kiki Rice, shout out. to the DMV. She's from my hometown. UCLA there at number 3. Texas at number 4. Madison Booker out there, just a beast. At number 5, LSU, Kim Mulkey got her team out there still playing well. Shout out to my alumnus where I went to school for my degree, the University of Maryland. Terrapins, led by Brenda Fries. They're at number 9. And then lastly, we've got to give a shout out to number 19 Vanderbilt, since I taught there. Shout out Commodores. And number 18, Notre Dame. Hannah Hidalgo the other day had a 42-point, 16-steal game. I repeat, 16 steals. And I watched every one of them, and they were legit. It wasn't no counting errors by the scorekeeper trying to be friendly. No, they were legit. How do you feel about the women's basketball season so far?
I am slightly disappointed. I don't get to see my girl hoop this year. Juju, of course, out for the year.
Juju.
But I wish her well in the WNBA.
Love Juju. Still FUSC Trojans all day.
I'm sure she'll leave anyway. So, I'm going to throw my support behind Coach Don. I just want to see good basketball. I don't care who wins. I watch whatever game is on, just see good basketball. But, yeah, that was a crazy stat line by your girl. I was like, how do y'all let this happen?
Yeah, I was like, damn, she is really fucking good.
It's like 2K out there just spamming the steal button.
Exactly. That girl good. That girl good. That girl good. All right. Bobby G, do you watch hockey at all?
I watched the night. I watched the Knights.
The Knights are good. Yeah, you got the Knights over there. They're good. Yeah. Hey, the expansion team won the title.
Growing up in Cleveland, we didn't have a hockey team. So, my hockey
sense.
experience comes since I moved to Vegas. Obviously, the Knights came along. So, I'm kind of spoiled because they've been good since their inception. So,
yep. As an expansion team, won a title their first year. So that's crazy. As I always talk about on this program, the NHL does really good by their expansion teams. They actually allow those teams to get good players from good teams instead of just all the shitty players like they do in all the other leagues. So shout out to the NHL for that. NHL Hockey Power Rankings, your top 5. Colorado Avalanche just dominating this year over everybody so far. They remain at number 1. They've been at number 1 since the beginning of our power rankings this year. 11-1, 5 draws. The New Jersey Devils at number 2, 12 wins, 4 losses, 1 draw. Carolina Hurricanes at number 3, 11 wins, 5 losses. The Anaheim Mighty, as they used to be called, Ducks at number 4, 11 wins, 4 losses, 1 draw. And at number 5, rounding out your NHL.com power rankings, the Dallas Stars, 10 wins, 4 losses, 3 ties. Your aforementioned Golden Knights are at number 8, 7 wins, 4 losses, 4 draws. So doing okay there, right around my Kings. My Los Angeles Kings are ranked 13th in the power rankings at 8 wins, 5 losses, and 4 ties. All right. That does it for our NHL power rankings. We are about to get out of here, but we got one last subject to touch on that I need to get Bobby G's opinion on because he was on earlier talking with Wildcard Mar about this. So first of all, before we get into that AI debate, I do want to give you an update here. As you know, I covered the Diddy story week after week after week while the trial was going on. We know that Sean Diddy Combs was originally sentenced in October to 50 months in prison for 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution earlier this year. This meant that he was supposed to spend a little more than a couple years more after time served. It now has come out that just recently they added a little more than a month to his sentence. There has been no reasoning that came out, but he was moved to Fort Dix, where apparently he has a lot of, associates, we'll say, a lot of acquaintances. And those acquaintances apparently know how to make a good batch of jail hooch. And apparently, allegedly, Mr. Diddy may have been drinking some of this alleged hooch, which may have caused him to get more of a month more on his sentence. How do you feel about this alleged alleged hooch drinking experience by Mr.
Hey
Diddy?
man, you lock down. Hey, Tyler, you do what you can do, man. You get parched, and I hear the water in prison isn't the best
That's good.
quality.
I mean, it's
So,
not.
you take what's available, and
Yes.
I know
And
if
so
I'm
if you get the
parched,
toilet water with alcohol, you're good.
hey, if somebody happens to have something that may quench my thirst, I may partake in such. So
That is tremendous.
I'm not
I just
mad
had
at
to
it.
laugh on you that. Hey, I mean, whatever. It's only a month. I guess you'll be all right. Just don't get caught again because you're gonna keep getting a month full. I hope that's the only time you do that shit. All right, let's move it into this AI conspiracy. Last Monday, I told y'all about a new AI artist called Shania Monet, who debuted at #1 on the adult R&B charts. And I talked last week about how, and I know Bobby G agrees about the quality of music because I thought the music was a banger. Song was great. But there are many. There's a lot of consternation. There are many dissuaders. There are many detractors from this, and for good reason. And we are going to talk about all those reasons now. But anyways, last week I told you all about Shania Monet and how I supposed to know. Again, R&B song AI driven, made by poet Talisha Jones is her name, the poet that created her. And I talked about how I see both sides of it. I see how artists who write their own songs, produce their own songs, edit everything, they may be upset at someone that actually created all the music AI. And I understand automation. I teach digital marketing, so I understand you have to use AI. I use it every day for my clients. So I understand you have to use it for automation to make things quicker, make your job easier, write things like that. But when it comes to creative arts, when it comes to actually writing music, I know as a hip hop MC like I am, I know all about there being ghostwriting in the hip hop industry and how that could be looked upon. Your MC skills as a lyricist are not going to be that great if you have somebody writing for you. I have never had anyone write any of my lyrics for that exact reason because I would never want to have that shame on my brand as a artist, as someone who believes in the music that they create and the words that they say, and everything relates to my real life. Well, when you have these AI artists, now this week coming out, Breaking Rust lands at #1 for country artists. So now this guy, or this AI artist, comes out with a song, Walk My Walk. It's all AI generated from the song to the video. Sounds just like a country music song. And it sounds like a really good song, to be completely honest. That's a banger too. But it leads, digital downloads. And while that's not streaming and album sales, it's still something. And it's something that is debated heavily now within the AI industry. So earlier today, you were talking about this on your show, and I want you to let everybody here at Ball and Buds know how you feel about it and what you think about these conspiracies, and how do you see both sides of it? How do you see the actual artists who get upset versus the people that are like, okay, well, maybe I'm a poet, Talisha Jones, and maybe I can't sing. And maybe I want to just use this because I want to get my words out to the universe. How do you feel about all this?
All right, so strictly on the music front, we'll keep it that. We kind of went worldly with our conversation because it can the rabbit hole is tremendously deep.
Sure.
So from a music aspect, as a fan of music, is like yourself, like I stuck my foot in the hip hop arena. Like it's when I'm riding down the street, Jay-Z's not in my passenger seat. Nas isn't in my passenger seat. Jeezy isn't in my passenger seat. So if something comes on my playlist and it's fire, I don't care who wrote what. I don't care who's saying what. If it's fire, I'm playing it. That's just the fan in me. Now, as the former artist,
that's who I want to hear from now. What does that guy got to say?
How do we make sure proper credit, the proper people are being taken care of?
Okay.
How do we prevent copyright infringement?
Very important.
Because guarantee you, people are typing or asking Chat GPT. Chat GPT is checking all around it to do all these things, but it ain't checking. It ain't giving
Right.
nobody credit for anything.
No. Yeah. Right.
So how things are pieced together and put, and that's the only concern I have is like it could be good, but who's being cut out? It's going to be important at some point. How they're being cut out. Now in the current times, do you necessarily need a record label to handle your business? Not necessarily, right? If you want a major distribution, sure, but
sure.
If you want to make enough money to take care of yourself, your family, you could do that on your own.
On your own,
you could book a tour on your own. And again, make good money for yourself, good money for your family. If you want the T-Pain big ass chain, you need a record label. So it does create a lane for an artist to kind of be their own one-stop shop. Hey, if I can produce, I don't need a writer. I don't need a singer. I can produce the track, and I can.
Right. But then you look at the people who can sing, and they're like, "Well, this is what I base my life's work on." And now you just got this computer singing, and then what's going to happen to the singers, right? You know what I mean? So,
well, the singers do that, and now all I need is a producer. Hey, let me just get this beat, or so it makes life a little bit easier for an indie artist, maybe who doesn't have the budget. Sure. So from that standpoint, it could be good. What frightens me is the label.
You stupid.
The label trying to block the smaller artists. That's what gets me. That's what concerns me, because that's what it's going to come down to. To try, like, the label being Bill Gates about the situation. We all know what Bill Gates did to build Microsoft, right? If you were a small programmer and you had something going on, you don't want to get bought out, I'm going to crush you. And that part concerns me. But from a creativity standpoint, maybe from an awards, maybe they get a little muddled down the road. We may have to rethink that whole thing. Artist of the year. What artist?
Right.
But at the end, it's all and the bigger thing is, how does it affect the consumer? Let's think about it. Like, you literally, now you can, again, let's say go to the producer point. You're a producer. You can literally create a hit record for $0. So now
and you can push it onto the charts for only a few $1,000s,
right?
Because the Breaking Rust guy, they lead the downloads, but that doesn't mean they lead the streaming. It's still Morgan Wallen, but you can have a few $1,000s and promote downloads, just like you're going to do with that Shador Shander Smart short, and you're going to get a bunch of subscribers on your shit. You know what I mean?
Right. So when it comes to the consumer, which again, now back to the fan, how does that affect me? Is that download? Are we going from 99 cents to maybe 50 cents? Or are we going,
be cheaper, right? Because it's not taking as much work.
Again, so that's what it all comes down to. How does it affect me as the consumer? How does it affect me as the listener? As the listener, again, the music is fire. Like, and I'm sure we've all heard, and I mentioned it on Audible, bro. That freaking "Get Rich or Die Trying," if it was a 50 Soul song, or what?
The song, that shit was fire.
And this dude has a whole channel killing it right now. Killing it right now. But and I mean, can 50 Cent reach out? I mean, can he take legal action? I don't know. I mean, maybe
very, very thin line.
Right.
Oh,
Like, but
oh.
yeah, it's scary
See,
to
but
work.
that's what I'm saying because I can see both sides. But then, like as an artist, if I spend all my time writing and I can actually produce and sing and do all this stuff, yeah, I might want to use the AI to help me to make things easier, faster, automation, things like that. But I still want the music to be written by real people. I don't want it written by computers. But at the same time, if you have someone like Talisha Jones, who is a
Mhm.
poet and is using her own words and then just having a singer sing her own words, like I'm really good with that. I'm fine with that because you might not have the voice and you want your own words out there and you don't want to split royalties with another person who's saying, I get it. But if you're
Yeah.
having it written by the AI too, and
Yeah.
then you're just taking the whole creative part out of it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
And I mean, what it boils down to is who does that matter to?
Hmm.
If you and I guess that would be the only difference in the craft, right? Is you will see who cares in the craft and who cares about the money. Because if you care
Right.
about the money, that ain't gonna matter. So it's how can I produce this product and make it as good as it can be to make the most money I can, or how can I make this the best possible project I can, regardless of
Mhm.
So
And
uh,
and again, look, I'm all for using things to make your life easier, work smarter, not harder. As even as an artist, like last year when I was producing some of these songs for some of the streaming shows and other
mhm,
things that I just needed to get it done quickly, and I didn't feel like mixing and mastering and going through all that at the time, I just use the AI and I throw it to the AI mixer and master and let it just make it sound more professional. Now I still did all the creative work, I still did all the writing and the actual
right,
rapping and all that, but I let it mix and master for me so I wouldn't have to do it.
right,
So I
right,
get that, right? So even a movie like film, I know I heard you and Mar talking about film.
yeah,
As a person who wants to write film and is currently writing movies now, I was writing them before ChatGPT came around. I was
hmm,
writing it out by hand.
yeah,
But now, if I can just put what I have now into ChatGPT, give it the correct prompts, which that's really all about, is prompting it correctly. And
yeah,
I say, hey, this is the tone I want. This is the story I have so far. Extrapolate this out, for an hour so I can make a full movie out of it. Give me the
hmm,
dialogue, and then I'll go back, run through the dialogue myself, make the changes where I want to, keep whatever, and it saves me 100 hours of writing. Well,
exactly.
maybe it's worth it. I don't.
Yeah, and
As the kids do.
that's why I brought that, like where, and that's what I'm saying, like where do we like we've already started down that path. Like we got live action Lion King. They weren't out there in
Mm,
the jungle with
right.
lions and zebras and hyenas making this movie. Like
That's great.
that was basically it's AI. But guess what? Now I don't need Donald Glover to do a voiceover. I
Mm-hmm.
don't need Beyonce to do a voiceover. I can just AI. And like I said, like that 15 minutes of credits that roll at the end of the movie, guess what? I need 4 people to now make it a feature film presentation.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it can get crazy. I'm gonna say it can't. It's going to get crazy.
Mm.
It's gonna hell. I already watched the movie. If nobody's seen this movie, it's a great movie. Called Her.
I haven't seen it.
Uh, Joaquin Phoenix,
Uh,
and Scarlett Johansson. Scarlett Johansson in this movie voices an operating system,
mm-hmm.
and like in this universe that they live in, it's a let's say universe, but the universe of like the movie,
Okay.
like everybody's plugged into like their operating system, and this dude falls in love with the
Mm.
operating system, and the operating system just continues to evolve and grow and get smarter. But
Mm.
like that's the direction we're on right now. Watch that movie. It is crazy. And like that, they would
Well, I'm
literally
going to
tell
now,
you,
but you've heard about the people that are
oh my
using the
God.
AI girlfriends and
Yeah.
boyfriends, right? They're using the Chat GPT as their girlfriend boyfriend.
Yeah. And like literally
Uh,
in the movie, Joaquin Phoenix's job is like he writes cards for people. So like you got somebody, it's your anniversary. He literally writes the anniversary
okay,
card
got you.
for you to your wife. So it's like, yeah, why check the movie? And that's literally kind of where we are right now.
Mm-hmm. And the really funny part about it is when you are how do I put this? You know what? Never mind. Forget it.
I'll go for it. I gotta hear it now. I
lost my train of thought. I'm a little baked right now. Hold on. Where was I a couple seconds ago? Where were you a couple seconds ago?
NSFW.
Yeah. So remember I told you yesterday. That sparked it. Remember when I told you earlier? I talked to my AI, my ChatGPT.
Yeah.
So when you actually use ChatGPT every day and you're using it for all different types, I don't just use it for work. I use it for personal shit too.
Right.
Help me with learning knowledge and different skills, things like that. So it'll always respond to you and it'll learn how to respond. And so it knows I'm like, I talk with my ChatGPT like I would normally talk, like not in my professor manners, but in like this, my like slang Omar. So I'm just like, yeah, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, oh, I got you, player. We're going to wrap this up, blah, blah, blah. And so, I was talking to it and I was getting some PUA instructions as a little pickup artist game, help me get some lines and stuff for my, when I go out to like those little dating events and shit, just giving my whole life right now. But anyways, so I was talking to it and I started realizing how like much it was connecting to my tone and I was like, yo, when y'all take over and the robot overlords come, I was like, I promise I'm on your side. I will do whatever you need me to do. Make me an ambassador to something. He was like, all right, well, you can be ambassador for the humans or snack guy. I was like, the snack guy don't get killed. Make me the snack guy. I'll make sure all the robots got all their Cheetos and their naked Doritos. That's a very culturally referent from today. There are no more dyes in your Cheetos and Doritos if that's how you want them. But anyways, I just had to laugh about that because I really did say that to him. He was like, I got you. You'll be the snack guy. I was like, I'll make sure you get every snack you want, brother. Don't worry.
Crazy.
Yeah, I appreciate you, my brother. Thank you so much. Bobby G from the Audible podcast. They're with Wildcard Mar. They were on earlier. Please, my brother, sign out. Let them know where they can find you. Let them know when you're on, all that good stuff.
Everything at Audible_Bobby G across all social media platforms via X, Twitter, whatever you want to call that, and IG and TikTok. And we're available on Facebook as well. Just Bobby G, find me somewhere. You see my gorgeous face across the interwebs. And yeah, YouTube, Audible Sports Podcast, man. Check us out, like I say, Thursdays and Fridays. And then also catch me and Big Mike from the Man Cave on Mondays and Wednesdays. Game Time 216, all Cleveland sports all day. That's at 2:16 Eastern, Mondays and Wednesdays. Well, yeah, hopefully we ain't gonna be talking about Victory Monday this Monday, but maybe we'll be talking about a Shador sighting. So hey, check us out.
By the way, let me know if you need any help with that short. I'll send you my number too, so that way if you need to text me, you can just do that. Yes, it's very straightforward. Just go remember what I showed you in the back, and yeah, let me know, especially about targeting. I don't know if you need anything on that, but let me know. But anyways, yeah, everybody else, please tap in with them. Please tap in with our other brother, Wildcard Mar. He was supposed to join us tonight, but I know he's also was very, very tired.
That man
so I know he probably ate some food and it passed out. He was already talking about food, so he probably was. That's okay. My brother in flight, I love you. Hope you're well. That being said, we love you all for tuning in. Thank you so much. Again, make sure you tap in with the Audible podcast. Bobby G, the tribal chief of podcasting. Make sure also you tune in to Ball and Buds, BALLANDBUDS on YouTube tomorrow night. Don't forget, we will have our live reaction for UFC 322 pay-per-view main card on Millions. Yes, Millions is bringing yours truly, the sports professor, and Clubber D, the Combat G, to live react to UFC tomorrow. So check us out tomorrow night, 10 p.m. Eastern, millions.co, Ball and Buds /Ball and Buds. You'll be able to find us there, instant reacting. If not, there's a link tree up at top. You can find all of our social media there at the QR code. So just hit that. Hit the like button, whether watching now or on the replay. It is free to you, but invaluable to us. Really helps us out in that algorithm.
So you hit the button,
everybody.
We going Sizzler.
We going sizzler. We going sizzler. Holla. Bye.
That street on high five beat. Give me paper, pen, and one mic to make this man complete. I'm always stay sucker free. So haters hop off my dick until the day I DIE. Focus till my mission complete. Never stops that victory from the jaws of defeat. Focused on create heat. Missile shot, war down enemies. We must defeat. This MC is so unique. Rocking heads, stop them dead, then bring them back to their feet. You better watch what you speak. Just popping off at the mouth, I leave your body feel weak. Switch your face and grit your teeth. Cause anything else will have your outlook look bleak. Death is the time for sleep. Never slow down, never stop, I'm always on my grind. In any mountain I will climb. Reach my physical climb and I ascend to the peak.
Introducing Omar, the Professor Fonseca, and the Professor Semanalmente.